You are looking live here at DNA HQ in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. In today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap, we have
let's go ahead and look at the way too early rankings for the SEC.
In the NBA, with the Utah Jazz season over, what can we expect during the offseason?
And let's go ahead and wrap up the Shohei Ohtani betting scandal drama.
All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
We can actually do that.
Roll it.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing really good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing fine, It's gorgeous out there in Salt Lake City today.
It sure is, dude. It sure is. It was such a beautiful day out there, man.
We have lots to get into today when it comes to local stuff. So let's go ahead and get to that stuff a little bit later here, but we'll go ahead and jump into, obviously the main thing everybody wants us to talk about, because it seemed to be the hottest video that we did last week, which was our Big Ten way too early predictions.
Yeah, we did Big 10, then we did Big 12. We did Big 12, then we did Big 10, and now we're on to the granddaddy of them all, right?
Yes, the
SEC.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry, ACC fans, we're not doing yours.
We're not doing ACC. We got to. I think we have to.
We'll see how this one performs, and then we'll kind of go there for sure. For sure. But yeah, once again, folks, and again, if you are watching live in the chat here on our live stream, we restream this every Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? Sorry,
Wednesday.
We're 15 minutes
every Wednesday-ish.
Depending, we're 15 minutes late, but your boy over here's got to play some softball. So
it's true.
We
won.
Yeah, that's the important part.
For the record, we did win.
For the record. What's the name of your team?
The Expendables.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't make it up. I just play on it.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the SEC way too early predictions. And just to save everybody trouble, because believe it or not, we got a few comments on this last week. A few comments, and everybody just reamed me on my terrible picks, apparently. Although one other dude did pick Rutgers in the top 5.
I saw that. So, after all the harassment, and then somebody else picks Rutgers in the top 5. I love it.
All the hate, guys. Come on. It's a way too early prediction for a reason. Obviously they're not going to be there when we get closer to the season.
And the fact is we don't even know what players are going to be available. Come on, have some fun with us, entertain us, leave some good comments. Let's do this.
So to please all those folks that wanted to tear me a new one on this one and want me to basically have the exact same opinion as ESPN. Here we go. Number 5 is the Missouri Tigers. Number 4 is going to be the LSU Tigers. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. Number 5 is the Missouri Tigers. Number 4 is Ole Miss Rebels. Number 3 is the Texas Longhorns. Number 2 is Georgia. And number 1 is Alabama. This has been the DNA Sports Recap. We'll see you next week.
Boom.
Okay, now everybody else who's still watching, let's go ahead and talk about our actual way too early predictions.
Welcome to ESPN.
Yeah,
can we say that?
Yeah, now that we're no longer, because that's apparently what you guys wanted to hear. So there you go, guys. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our actual rankings, our way too early rankings. Now, I did this very similar to what I did last week on this one, is I kind of focused a little bit on strength of schedule and returning talent. And actually, I do have a correction that I want to make when we get closer on our Big Ten.
Okay.
Because there was a comment in there that made me realize I need to change. I forgot something.
Okay.
That I need to consider. But I will hold that out for the next time where we go through that, which will probably be late summer, early fall when we're in camp.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's go ahead and start with number 5. I'm going to start with, by the way, the hardest schedules going into for the SEC going into this, according to CBS Sports, is 1 Florida, 2 Vanderbilt, 3 Oklahoma, 4 Alabama, and 5 Mississippi State.
Right.
Those are the top 4 that have the top 5 that have the hardest schedules going into this SEC season next year.
Yeah,
2024. That's the year, right?
Yep, 24-25 season.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you go ahead and you want to hit us with your 5th?
Yeah, number 5, I'm going to go the Ole Miss Rebels.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. They're returning some good players. I think that I spaced the head coach's name. I can picture his face. Great start. But I think this program's heading in the right direction. They had a really good season last year. Yeah.
It's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. I could picture his face. I just couldn't picture his name. Yeah. So let me just. I think that Lane Kiffin's got the direction. I think he's got the program heading in the right direction. They had a really good season last year. They won some tough games. They do got a late stretch on the tail end of the schedule, right? They got Georgia, they got Florida, they got Mississippi State. So and they're also at LSU. So they have some tough games on the tail end of their schedule. But I think these guys got a chance to come in and make some noise and keep being successful there in the tough SEC.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So for number 5, I got LSU.
Okay.
They're going to be 10-2 this season with a 6-2 in conference schedule. They're going to have with the key losses to Ole Miss and Alabama being their 2 games that I think that they're going to drop.
Okay.
They got Bryce Underwood as QB, ranked 2nd in the country, and they also have Dakota Moore. Dakota Moore, who is a wide receiver who's ranked 3rd in the country. And there's probably 4 teams from the SEC that's going to make the college football playoff. At least that's the way it's going to be predicted.
Ooh, that's a brave take.
Well, that's not me taking it. That's literally what they're asking for.
Oh yeah, they're asking for 4 teams.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. It's the SEC. If they want, if the rest of the NCAA football wants to play ball, they're going to do it. So there's going to be 4. So I think so with that, again, I do think that they're going to be on the list and going to get a CFP spot at number 5.
Damn. Okay. You want to go to number 4?
Sure.
Okay. I have at number 5, or I have at number 4, the LSU Tigers.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I like where you're at there. I think this Brian Kelly's team, he's got another season to kind of be underneath him. They do have to replace a quarterback. Obviously, you lose one to the NFL draft that really, really kind of helped you guys get to where, to be as successful as you were last season. But I can see the Tigers having a really good season this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to switch actually over the last week. I'm going to switch my 3 and 4. I know I said last week, well, whenever it was 2 weeks ago, I know I said I was going to have Texas as number 3.
Okay.
I actually have them at number 4. So
okay.
Texas is going to be 11-1, 7-1 in conference. Steve Sarkisian's Longhorns. Key games are going to be against Michigan, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Texas A&M. You've got Quinn Ewers. I can never say his last name right.
Ewers. Yeah.
Quinn Ewers is the 3rd ranked in the country with a QB rating of 78.7. I predict they're going to go 3-1 in those 4 games and have a spot in the CFP.
Excellent. And that's your number 3?
That's my number
4.
That's my number 4. Actually, I need to take that off. I don't think they're going to be in the CFP.
Okay.
That one's going to be to my actual number 3. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm up for number 3 now, right?
Number 4.
Just gave number 4.
Oh, that's right. So you're up for number 3 now.
Okay. Yeah. My number 3 is Texas. So I have them a little higher than you then. Mm-hmm. I think Quinn Ewers is a huge key to get back to this. When he announced he's staying, this changes everything for Texas. Mm-hmm. They do got to replace some really, really good receiving talent. But their schedule isn't the most difficult thing, right? They've got pretty good games. I mean, Colorado State, they do got a tough one at Michigan. But other than that, I mean, they got Oklahoma, they got Georgia. This team could really win some ball games this year. Quinn Ewers is our big preach for the U is that, we got Cam Rising back and you got that veteran leadership. I see the same thing here. Okay. This guy's been around a long time, and I think he's got a chance to keep leading these guys. And like you said, if the SEC gets 4 teams, this is definitely going to be one of them.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I like it. My number 3 is going to be Alabama.
Alabama at 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're going to be Alabama 10-2 with a 6-2 conference record. I believe Kalen DeBoer is going to have a great first year in Tuscaloosa, T-Town, all my people down there. But tough games against Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, and Missouri, are going to be the top 4 games.
Yeah.
Top 4 games they're going to be playing. They also have USF as a non-conference game as well in their schedule. Now, also, Jalen Milroe, he's ranked 4th in the country in QB rating with a QB rating of 80.5. And I predict them CFP bound.
Bama to the CFP.
Bama to the CFP, number 3, book it. Put it on the board.
I like it. I'm going to take Alabama at number 2. I also agree with you. I do think they will be heading to the CFP. Kalen DeBoer is a fantastic head coach. Again, we've said it on previous episodes. These are big shoes to fill, right? I mean, Nick Saban was like he took this program and he made it into what the Crimson Tide is today, right? Like most people in this generation know it as Nick Saban running the Crimson Tide. Kalen DeBoer is fantastic. And if you didn't watch Washington last year, go back and watch because they play with heart. They play for each other. That's what you want on an Alabama team that's loaded with talent, top to bottom. They do get back Jalen Milroe if he can keep the starting spot. I think they got a good chance. I mean, they've got a tough game at LSU. But yeah, absolutely. I think Alabama at 2 for me.
Okay. So my number 2 is going to be Ole Miss.
Ole Miss at 2. Okay. I like this.
I got Ole Miss at 2. The key games are against Georgia, LSU, and Oklahoma. This is one of Lane Kiffin's most talented rosters he's had. 6th ranked QB in the country, Jackson Dart, will be returning as well. Sorry,
Utah boy.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. So we also have. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, I got tripped in my notes there. Okay, but anyway, so with that, we also have returning receivers Trey Harris, Jordan Watkins, and tight end Caden Prieskorn, all returning. So those are key things that he's going to be. It's pretty much a set offense already coming back for Ole Miss there. They have a lot of players returning on offense. The big if for this one is LSU. I think if they get past LSU. But I do think they are going to beat LSU, but I do think they're going to lose to Georgia.
Right.
So to me, obviously, if I've got the top 4 all making the CFP, then obviously Ole Miss is going to be in as well. So,
yeah.
So I don't really have to go too far on that one, but yeah, I have Ole Miss as number 2.
Yep. Okay, that takes me on to number 1. At number 1 in the SEC, I have Georgia. This team is really, really good. And they return a lot of talent. They send a lot of talent to the NFL. They have a chance to go undefeated again. I mean, they've got a tough game at Alabama, but they're going to be looking for revenge against, to pretty much shore up that loss that they took last year that really kept them out of the CFP. They got a tough game at Texas. I'm not sure if Texas is ready for a big game like that. I mean, even at Texas, I'm not sure if they're ready for Georgia to come in there.
Right.
Really, really good football team. This team could go undefeated and be the number 1 team out of the SEC. No doubt about it.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. And so far, you and I are not on the same plane as ESPN. So hopefully we don't hear it in the comments this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there will still be some comments. Make sure you guys leave us a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. We are going to do more of these rankings as we get a little bit closer to the season. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely. And for number 1, I have Georgia as well. I have them going 11-1, 7-1 in conference. They play 5 games against top 20 teams. Carson Beck is ranked the number 1 in the country. His QBR ranking is 85.2. People will mention that he won't have Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey. They
huge losses.
Yeah, but they weren't really available for large stretches of the season last year as well. But they also have transfers. Benjamin, I believe he's from Stanford. What's his last name? Eurosek.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Benjamin Eurosek, I think.
Okay.
At tight end, and they also have receivers Colby Young from Miami and Michael Jackson III from USC.
Awesome name.
And London Humphreys from Vanderbilt. So I think they're going to come away with the conference, and I think this is a title year for them.
Yeah.
I think they have a good shot at winning the national title.
I think they have almost as good of a chance to win the title as my Utes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, on your Utes, I've been mentioning a lot of quarterback rankings. Cam ranking is ranked 9th in the country according to ESPN.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Not bad.
Pretty impressive.
Not bad, Cam. for not throwing a pass in 2 years.
Yeah, hasn't thrown a pass. He didn't throw one pass last season. And he's still 9th to start the season.
Yeah. So not
scary.
Bad. Not bad. I appreciate that.
Scary.
Speaking of which, speaking of the Mr. Cam Rising, there was a sighting of Cam Rising.
Really?
He played in the Forever 22 game, which was played last Saturday. Now, unfortunately, both of you and I missed that game this year because, your boys were golfing. So,
we had other engagements.
We had priorities. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so according to everything I read, he did have quite a few runs at it. He did have a couple of solid passes. You had the red team and the white team. I believe the red team won 42-24, something like that. Can't remember the final score. Let us know in the comments down below if you caught that game, what the score was. The key thing that we got out of that is Cam Rising is ready to throw. He's healthy. There was no hiccups. There was nothing in the pot, and they wrapped him back up in bubble wrap, threw him in the cryogenic chamber, and we're going to keep him there until August.
Absolutely. That's what we need, Cam. Just stay healthy.
Just stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Just stay healthy. You're going to make our Big 12 rankings look really bad if you don't stay healthy.
Yes, that is correct. That video will not age well.
No, it definitely won't. But yeah, so anyway, I think it's a fantastic. We got him. We also have our stud
Dorian
tight end.
Singer. Oh, stud tight end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our stud tight end there.
Yeah.
Brant Keefe. Gosh, why would that name just leave my head like that? Brant Keefe is going to be returning as well, which we know Cam loves to use his tight ends as kind of like a short receiver package, which is going to be fantastic.
Yep. Lots
of good things coming out of Utes spring ball. Especially that Forever 22 game.
Yep.
I love how that Whittingham usually kind of treats it as like a glorified scrimmage practice. Like it's not like an actual game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll just like randomly give the ball back to the other team and punt the ball.
Yeah, he's on the field the entire game.
Exactly.
And there's referees there, but they're not really doing much, just making sure he has a Diet Coke in hand,
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, a lot of promising stuff coming out of there. I really like all the new talent coming in. Like you mentioned there, our stud wide receiver.
Yeah, Dorian Singer.
Caught
a couple passes, looked excellent. Dude, this team is going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the season to just get here so we can start watching some Utah football.
Absolutely. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you think of our SEC rankings, our way too early SEC rankings. Got to make sure I say that because I don't want people to
our final cut SEC rankings right now.
That's right.
This is how it's going to be into the season.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be too far off.
No,
to be honest with you,
pending injuries.
This was the easiest one to do, I think, in my opinion. But
SEC is always really top heavy.
Yeah, so it's going to be good. So
I should have put Vanderbilt in there just because I'm cheering for our boy.
Oh yeah. The pig farmer, right?
No, pig farmer is at Utah State.
Oh, that's right, Utah State. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wasn't it he started for like half the games. Gosh,
I can't remember his name either, if that makes you feel any better.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he started like half the games. Not Brandon Rose. That's the QB2. We had,
and it's funny because again, I can remember what his face looks like. I just can't remember what his name is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not going to put that in the video, but
no, you're not going to see this.
You fans, if you're watching, can you throw it in the comments what his name was?
Yes, please.
That's going to be it. That's going to be bugging me. Now that we can't look it up, but whatever, we just can't be bothered. But let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think of the SEC rankings. Would you have them ranked differently? Do you prefer ESPN's ranking over ours, like most of you did on the Big Ten video? So, our feelings will not be hurt if you feel that way.
Not at all.
But yeah, let us know what you think there. Keep in mind, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are 817 strong as of today. We are giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. Also, again, make sure you drop a like on this video for your boy AJ over there.
Appreciate you.
Really helps the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to a little bit of basketball, shall we?
Ooh, light change. I love it.
All right, and while we change the light and why we have a cross-show sip here, cross-topic sip here. Cheers to you. Once again, folks, if you're watching this on the live stream, we want to know where you're watching from. Go ahead and drop in the comments. Let us know. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, we will discuss it live during the show. So please go ahead and let us know, what your thoughts are on what we're talking about here. If you don't care about college football or you don't care about the Jazz, just drop in the comments. Let us know what your favorite food is, what your favorite color is, something like that. We'd love to hear from you. Also, where you're watching from. That'd also be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz, shall we?
I love the Utah Jazz. And this was a very tough season to love the Utah Jazz, Darren.
Yes, it was. Let's go ahead and first start with the fact that they lost 13 in a row, and then they finished the season
winning 2 and then losing 1.
Winning 2 and then losing 1. So yeah, Utah. Hey, Vanessa Joe in the comments letting us know she's in Utah. Hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. But yeah, so as far as that goes, the Utah Jazz, they did lose the last game of the season to the Clippers. However, I would like to say
the Warriors, right? Last game of the season, they lost to the Warriors.
To the Warriors, right? That game they won was against the Clippers. The last game they won. Yeah, easy there.
Easy. Sorry.
But yeah, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a second to do a little retrospective review of the Utah Jazz this season. How do you think about the season? What do you think about the season? What's your take overall on this team? Give your thoughts real quick on that. Go ahead.
Okay. So to start this season, the Jazz were exactly what they thought they were going to be. They were right about 500. They were talented. They put a pretty good product on the floor. At the trade deadline, obviously, we moved Kelly Olynyk, Ochai Agbaji, Simone Fontecchio, all guys that were huge contributors to this Jazz team, and they're close to 500 success in the first part of the season. After they move them away, I mean, if you're any kind of a Jazz fan, you're fully aware. It was very clear they were moving into, okay, let's try to get a draft pick this year. And the Jazz didn't look bad. I mean, we had a few games where Laurie was on. We had a few games where John Collins played really well. Jordan Clarkson's always, he's always up and down. He's our constant roller coaster of a player. And then the tail end of the season kind of got here. You saw they're sitting every one of our starters. They're not going to risk any of those guys taking an injury that's going to cost them games. And, you just kind of see in some of the news that the Jazz are looking, towards this offseason. They're looking to clearly rebuild. I'm okay with it. As a Jazz fan, it was tough to watch, but it kind of gives you a little bit of relief, right? You're turning it on just to watch the players rather than trying to watch and see these teams win. So that was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to just be able to turn it on and watch the players develop and get better and grow and do things a little bit better. So I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
So when it comes to the trade deadline, the trade deadline giveaway that we kind of did this year, is basically just a rinse and repeat of last year, man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same thing. We got up to the trade deadline. We were playing about 50-50 ball. That was not good enough for Danny Ainge and Justin Zanuck, which, by the way, recover well, Zanuck, on your kidney transplant.
Absolutely.
We here at the DNA, your thoughts, our thoughts are with you and your family. So recover quickly and swiftly. Hopefully there's no complications there, but yeah. So as far as the trade deadline and going, it's just rinse and repeat, man. Now there's a tale of two tastes, man. You watch two teams that emulate each other pretty well, and that's the San Antonio Spurs and the Utah Jazz. One team is doing it right, the other team is not. Spoiler alert, it's not the Utah Jazz.
Right.
Okay. I've been on the camp that they should have tanked from day one last year. They should have tanked from day one this year, and they should tank again from day one next year. That's what this team should have done to put themselves in the best position for long-term competition. That's not what the Jazz have done. But we did the exact same thing last year that we did this year, which was we played decent ball, and instead of going in and trying to get some playoff experience for our young talent and get bounced in the first round or bounced in the play-in tournament, which we'll cover a little bit here lately and later on. We traded everything in the deadline, and we're just hoping that the ball bounces our way, and we're not going to lose our pick to the Timberwolves. Like, that's what we're hoping on. We're just hoping on luck now and odds when we had the opportunity to guarantee that. I think that they're doing it wrong, and I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. And this isn't a guy who's specifically going in after Victor Wembanyama. I thought it would be great if we had the opportunity to get that transcendent player. My rookie of the year started off as Chet Holmgren, and I was quite obviously in the right there. But man, like, Wemby's got a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to win.
Yeah,
he wants to dominate. And I would not be surprised if the San Antonio Spurs are close to competing next year for a playoff spot. Simply based,
I think Chet still probably wins Rookie of the Year.
I don't think he does.
No,
not a chance.
He played so good on the number one seeded.
Yeah, I think there is part of that where your team success plays into it. But honestly, the head-to-head matchups between Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, it wasn't even close the second time, man.
Yeah, that's
Wemby
true.
dominated. And if you look at the stats on the projections, it's not even close. It's Wemby all day long.
Yeah, and his blocks are just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the guy can literally like he got tired of the experiment of having a 6'7" point guard, whatever his name is. They were trying to Coach Pop was trying to run out there to give a size thing, and once they switched that and gave it back to a traditional point guard, Wemby went off, man, and it was great to watch. It was fun basketball to watch. On the other side here, we got the Utah Jazz, who have 3 young, talented players, where 2 of them spent a lot of time in the G League. Now, again, that was due to injury. They didn't, play in the summer league, and they didn't start off at camp. They were injured, so I'll give them some rest there. But, if this was the plan all along, then why didn't we push them to why did we even bother making?
Yeah, why didn't we push this plan?
Yeah, why was this not the plan first? Why'd you make the trade for John Collins?
Yeah,
why? This inability to pick a lane and stay with it that the Utah Jazz have right now is very, very frustrating, and that's what makes moving forward in this season and the off season even worse.
Yeah,
but let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's talk about our speculation for the off season. Did you hear Danny Ainge's comments in the
star hunting comments?
Yeah, the big game hunting comments.
Yeah.
So what do you think there? What options do you have off the top of your head? Do you think they're going to go for?
My problem is I don't know any of the players that are coming up in free agency. Like I feel like there's not that, like, this isn't a great free agent class this year. Is there?
I don't think it's free agency. I think he also said in his comments there that we aren't going to have 7 players on the roster that are under the age of 23. And if you draft 3 players this year and you keep all 3, you will have over 7 players on this roster that are under 23. So first off, let's take that. Let's say that they do have their first 3 picks. Do you think they keep them all? Do you think they trade them? What do you think they do?
I think they're looking to move them. I think they saw enough from Taylor Hendricks and Keontae George and Bryce Sensabaugh that these guys are worth investing some time and money into. So I do think that these guys probably are roster locks at this point. I don't see them moving them unless the stars align and they get something crazy, right? I can see them maybe potentially keeping that first round pick if they feel like they can get a player that's right in their wheelhouse. They really need shooting, in my opinion. They do not have any just knockdown 3-point shooters. Like they need a really solid 3-and-D player, and they just don't have one right now.
Can they draft Caitlin Clark?
That would be fantastic, and I would take her absolutely.
Congratulations, first round draft pick to the I believe it was
Indiana
Fever. That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Then Utah a Utah player got drafted in the top.
Yeah, Alyssa Peely.
Yeah, she went 4th, 5th.
I think she went 8th.
Oh, I'm sorry, a little off there.
Yeah.
8. Well, congratulations. And and they also had Angel Reese that ended up with the Las Vegas Aces.
Did she go to the Aces?
Yeah, I believe she went to the Aces, and another player, like 2 players. I think she went to the Aces. I could be wrong.
Chicago Sky.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chicago Sky.
Okay, I was gonna say if she went to the Aces, that's insane because the Aces are like champs.
Yeah. And before we go down the rabbit hole in the WNBA thing, which we definitely need to put its own video on that, and we will now that the draft is done. We'll definitely get into that. But when it comes to the draft, I don't see a whole lot of shooting in this class that's coming up. I think, I just don't see anybody who's really jumping out at me that's really kind of that elite player. The Jazz are going to fall. Typically, they're going to fall anywhere between 8. If it goes below 10, it's Timberwolves' pick. So we got to make sure that we have about a 30% chance, 23% chance it'll be around the 8. And we have about a 6% chance to get the first overall pick. We also have 20% chance that we fall.
So if we go number 1 overall, it goes to the Wolves?
No, we're in the top 8. It's protected. Top 10 protected first round.
Oh, okay.
If it falls below the 10th spot, then it goes to the 10th spot or below, it goes to the Timberwolves.
Oh, okay.
At least I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. Let me know on that one.
Okay.
So as far as it comes to that, let's talk. We talked about some of the young talent that's going to keep around, and we don't expect him to keep these picks. Let's talk about the veterans. Which are the other veterans you plan on sticking around? Who's here and who's not?
I think this is so dependent on what actually becomes available via trade, right? I mean, obviously we're going to keep, we've got the core that we're going to keep around. We got Laurie. I think they're still pretty invested in Walker Kessler. I think, I honestly still see Jordan Clarkson around one more year. I do not see the Jazz moving him, especially if they're trying to win any ball games.
Which according to them, they plan on. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I think if you're trying to win ball games, you need Jordan Clarkson, especially with Laurie. Obviously we've got Keontae, we've got Taylor. John Collins, I think, is probably one piece they're willing to move on if they get any kind of traction on another player. I think they moved the John Collins contract. Who else they got on there? Those are the big ones, right?
Yeah, there is one that you missed that I do think they keep on, which is Colin Sexton. I think they keep.
I absolutely think they keep Colin Sexton.
I think they keep Colin Sexton. I don't think the Jazz have the chance to trade John Collins. His contract is too expensive. I don't think unless you pack a bunch of picks with that one, you're not moving that contract for.
But I could see him packing a bunch of picks with it.
Yeah, but then you're dumping
they want to move it.
They're not using the picks the way they want to, though.
I also think it depends on what they're getting in return, though. To move the John Collins contract and a couple of picks is worth it. If you get back, for some reason, I always go to this Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I just really like Harrison Barnes. Okay,
yeah,
I've always liked him.
He definitely showed out against the Golden State Warriors, who
basically let him walk for a He's so reliable.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, you did have to handcuff the guy to keep him with the team, but anyway. So I don't think they can move John Collins. I don't think that there's going to be an opportunity for them to move that. I do think that with JC's comments that he made post game of the last game of the season, his kind of exit interview, he basically talked about all of his time with the Jazz in the past tense. I think he's going to want to trade. I think he wants out now. I think the way that the season ended up, I think he was going for it, but I would say if it wasn't for that postseason interview where he was speaking about them in the past tense, I would say he is going to probably play out the last of his season. But he's been in trade rumors like for the last 5 open windows of trades. His name's been in it. He has been moved. So I can see him either A, asking for a trade, or B, going to get traded just simply because of the value of the contract. Now, again, he's only getting paid $13 million on that contract next year instead of the 20 whatever that he's been paying last year. So it is very friendly tradable contract. So I do see him potentially not being around this year. Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, and Colin Sexton, I think are going to be the core there of the veterans that they keep.
Yeah, and they're going to look to be renegotiating Lauri's contract pretty soon too. So they know they're going to have to pay that man. The Jazz dude, I am so glad I'm not Danny Ainge. The Jazz have so many moving pieces in this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And really what they need to decide is, are we making a move to win ball games next year? Yes or no?
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? Because
the problem,
because realistically, if you're still trying to gather assets, do that.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Danny Ainge has a tough road ahead because, with last season, off season, the trade, I think it was early this season, or was it preseason? The Drew Holiday trade.
Yeah.
When the Jazz made a play for him, and the Portland Trailblazers actually liked Utah's package better than what Boston offered, but he didn't want to come here.
Right.
So that's why he went to Boston. So in this league of power and player empowerment, where these players are basically saying, I don't want to go there, and so they don't, I think it's going to be a tough road for Danny Ainge to get any star of relevance or any player of relevance that's going to be here. I mean, who are you going to go after? Are you going to go after what's his name from Golden State? Just had a terrible game.
Klay Thompson.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a nice name, but he's way past his prime. Who else are you going to go at? $74 million that's owed to Draymond Green.
I think Draymond will try to retire with the Warriors.
Yeah. I mean, where are you going to go with this,
Yeah.
So I just don't see a whole lot of trade assets where people, maybe Trae Young, maybe DeJounte Murray, they try to make the trade this season for him.
I could see another push for Murray, though.
Yeah, but why would they do that if they're, again, what is the goal? Where are they trying to go?
Exactly.
They can say to the press conference that they want to win games, that they want to improve. They're not going to tank for that Scooter kid or whatever his name is.
Scooter.
What's his name?
I like Scooter.
He's not coming out this year. He's coming out next year.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the next unicorn player.
Yep.
I don't know, man. If it's not Wemby, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. But it's what is his name? It's gonna drive me nuts. Scooter something or something. Scooter, not that's Scoot Henderson. Never mind. But yeah, everybody's saying what
is his name?
He's not coming out in this draft, so you're probably not going to find it too easily.
No, I know, but
draft class of 2025?
Yeah. Cooper Flag.
That's right. Cooper.
Yep. Going to Duke next year. Cooper. That's right.
Good old Cooper.
6'9", elite rim protector, possesses great timing, defensive instincts, and awareness.
Yeah, and going up against 7'4" Wembanyama or 7'3" Chet Holmgren.
He ain't big enough.
He ain't big enough, man. He ain't big enough. But anyway, I just think that the Jazz really kind of, you know what the bet on this one. There's two teams that are doing this run. And it's definitely not the Jazz. I hope this offseason Danny Ainge proves me wrong, but so far I have not been impressed with how they've been handling this team, how they were handling, you don't wait to the trade deadline to see if you got a decent team before you go in or not. The moves need to be happening in the offseason.
Yeah.
If your plan is to compete, if your plan is to win games, then it should be a push for the playoffs, or you shouldn't even try.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, I totally agree. That's exactly my whole thing is like, you decide whether you want to win games before the offseason starts. Because if not, if you don't want to win games, that's fine. Jazz Nation understands.
Yeah.
But keep the team together, get these rookies some playing time, try to find you a phenom, right? Take your draft pick, put them in the rotation, let him do the Donovan Mitchell thing, get him in the rotation day one,
right?
And let that boy play.
Yeah.
If you don't want to win ball game, but if you want to win ball games, then start moving some pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get some players in here and let's get them on the floor together and let's let them compete. And don't make all your, like mid-season trades again. Let's try to win ball games. Let's go try to get experience. Let's get these guys the minutes that they need to be successful long-term and build a team now. That's my take on it.
I agree with you. Did you hear the conversation about the time where the Jazz could have landed a all-star in his prime, but he did not want to go here?
I've heard multiple situations about that.
This is during during our one of our playoff runs, and I can't remember if it was in the Donovan Rudy time or he wouldn't have been in his prime anymore at that point. But I think it was the prior time where they, with Gordon Hayward and Paul Millsap, and they were just there. They needed one more piece to kind of push him over the edge.
Yeah,
the player that decided that he's like, no, I don't want to go to Utah. Kevin Love.
Oh, yeah, I did
hear that. He got traded to Cleveland instead.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play in Cleveland over Utah.
Can you blame him?
Yeah.
I can blame him.
Yeah, I'd rather play in Utah than in Cleveland. I just, I know LeBron
anywhere rather than Cleveland.
Yeah. So anyway, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think as far as the Jazz's season. Give us what your review was of the Utah Jazz this year. I know a lot of us didn't even recognize half the team that was playing for the last 20 games. So, let us know. How about Kenny Lofton Jr., by the way?
He's signed. That boy is on the roster, guaranteed.
That guy was a stud, man, down the stretch. I mean, he might be the 15th, 17th two-way player guy that you're going to have on a contending team.
I think he's got some chance to actually get some minutes, man.
Yeah, on a contending team. I mean, but like, definitely, I think he could get some minutes. He would be awesome. But anyway, good question before we abandon this one.
Okay,
good question. Our point guard, what's our boy's name?
Keontae George.
No, we know he's good.
Colin Sexton.
Chris Dunn. Is he on the team next year?
No. I don't think so.
You think he's owed a paycheck and the Jazz won't match?
I think he earned himself an NBA roster spot. I do not think the Jazz will pay him with all of the point guard depth that they currently have.
Yeah, he's easily a backup point guard on a decent team.
He's a starting defensive point guard on a mediocre team. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
He does a good job. He takes care of the ball. He doesn't shoot it fantastic, but a lot of times you just need a good defensive guy. You know what I mean? If you can, a lot of times bringing your scoring guys off the bench is a whole thing. So, I think he's earned a paycheck, and I think he's done a fantastic job for the Jazz this year. And I hope that somebody pays him in the double-digit millions to go play per season. Because he did just that for us this year.
Absolutely. And I love his post-game stuff where he on Instagram, where he'd come in just like he'd go like this for the win. It was great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Good dude.
Appreciate you, Chris.
Good dude. Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead. Once again, folks, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you think of the Utah Jazz, how their season went. We'd like to hear from you. What you can look forward to in the offseason, let us know as well in the comments down below.
Yep.
Also, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We do have 800 and plus right now. Once we hit 1,000, we're going to give the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you are not subscribed yet, please make sure you do so. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and also leave us a comment down below on let us know how we're doing there for sure.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out the merch. Should be a line down below there. Give it a look. See if you like anything. Absolutely.
Shirts, go this way. Shirts.
Yep.
Yeah, different options down there for sure. Also, if you do, go ahead and hit us on the social media there and show us a picture of your merch there. We'd love to see it out there for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to let's talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs, shall we?
Yeah, NBA playoffs. Oh, you want to leave this color then?
And we could shift.
Okay.
We can go green, whatever this color is.
Gold.
We'll go.
It's weird. It looks lime green right here, but it looks gold on the screen.
Kind of does. But yeah, so anyway, let's talk about it. So we had the playing games over last night.
Yep.
And we had, I believe it was Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. And then we had the Lakers versus New Orleans. Right? I
believe that is the case, yes.
Right? Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below for sure. Again, once again, folks, if you're watching this live on our live stream, please feel free to drop in the chat. Let us know, comment on where you're watching from, and if you have any comments on what we're talking about, we'd love to hear from you and interact with you live during the show. Yeah, first of all, I don't want to talk about this.
Okay.
But I feel like
no, don't then.
I feel like we have to.
Okay, I'm ready.
How about LeBron James? The guy is almost 40 years old. And he took 2 charges against Zion Williamson.
He's an absolute freak.
The guy's almost 40. You know how many points he scored? You know what? Okay, let me preface it this way. Vince Carter in his year 21. You know how many points per game he was averaging per game? About 7.5. Dirk Nowitzki, you know how many points he was averaging per game on his 21st season? About 8 points per game.
I was gonna say maybe 8.
LeBron James, he's averaging 8.5 points per game in the fourth quarter. In his 21st season. He's averaging over 25 points per game in his year 21 season. He's going to be 40 before next year. This guy, say what you want. He's kind of, likes to pat himself on the back. He likes to control the media. He thinks he controls the NBA, and he might. Who knows? He might. He's probably like the epitome, the mecca of the power player and power movement, I would say. But man, did this guy not only take a couple charges against Zion, he got him to stand up several times. He played defense, man, which is something I have not seen a player of his caliber do in quite a long time. I got to tip my cap to LeBron, man. He really cared last night.
He left everything out there during this game. You know what I mean? Like he was determined that this was not the game that ended the Lakers season. He played more minutes than any player on the Lakers team with 41. And had 23 points, almost had a triple-double with 9 rebounds and 9 assists.
Yeah, insane. He did exactly what he needed to do to get the job done, get the win. I really like to see anybody who forces this guy to play that many minutes in a 7-game series, see what happens. But as far as a play-in, they did not want to go to a second game play-in. They did what they needed.
Yeah.
So I'm tipping my cap to LeBron. Didn't think I'd ever do that, but congratulations, LeBron. You honestly showed up. That's the beautiful thing about right now. Is starting like right now and for the next month and a half, 2 months, this is NBA basketball actually worth watching.
Oh, every single game too.
With the whole ego and the player empowerment that I've talked about several times in this video already, and the fact that I've never seen a sport where once you pay people millions of dollars, they get to just decide whether or not they want to show up for work or not. It's not on the players only. It's not on the teams only. Load management and all that stuff is a real thing. And, it's stupid. But I've never seen a league where players can just decide not to show up. Well, now that we're in the play-in and we have the postseason right around the corner, players are showing up, and believe it or not, they care on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And that is when this league is actually fun to watch, when players actually give a damn, and I'm here for it. So let's talk about the team that lost, the Pelicans. How about your boy Zion Williamson?
Well, he got hurt in this game.
Okay, but let's not start there. Jesus,
the dude's always hurt, Darren.
Give the guy his flowers, man.
Always hurt. He did have a great game, though. 40 points.
This was
11 rebounds, 5 assists. Played in 36 minutes.
Yeah.
And looked like he could take over this game at any minute and just like he was going to will the Pelicans to victory.
Yeah,
there was nothing stopping him.
This is his most important game of his career so far.
Which is very sad considering you were the number 1 draft pick.
Well, he's on the Pelicans, man. I mean,
but it's not like the Pelicans are garbage, man. You got Brandon Ingram, you got CJ McCollum.
Benched, by the way. What was that about?
Who's what?
Brandon Ingram. He wasn't playing in the last of the fourth quarter. What's going on there?
They just threw the towel in, man. They're like, screw it. LeBron's going to take these guys all the way.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I don't know. I just want to say that I really like what I saw from Zion Williamson, and I really love how, if you saw his face when that Achilles crept up on him, you would see his face. He's just like, you've got to be kidding me. Not again.
Yeah.
Here's a player that, I want him to succeed.
Zion?
Yes. I want him to succeed.
I want him to succeed just because I feel like the league pushed it onto him, and he didn't want that.
No.
He wasn't asking to be the new face of the league.
No.
He just wanted to be Zion, right? He wanted to come in the league and do his thing. And the league was pushing to be, you are the next LeBron James. You are the next face of this league. You're big, you're athletic, you can shoot it. You can be all these things. He didn't want that.
No.
And you see that now, right? You see that he's just a human. He's not ready for that. He just wants to go out and play basketball.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I absolutely want him to succeed.
I do. I agree. I love that take on that. Very well said, by the way. I really agree with that. I really want him to succeed. He's he wants to play. He wants to play. He wants to win. He just doesn't want the narrative to be spun one way or the other. So I just really feel for the guy. Now they're going to be playing their second round. The second round of the play-in against. Gosh, I can't remember who it is. I can't remember who they're playing, but it's going to be without. He's not going to be able to play in this one.
Zion will be out.
Zion will be out for this one, and he might be questionable for the first round if they did win. And I think they're playing. I want to say, not Minnesota. So they're the first round seed, not Sacramento.
Lakers won the 7. Kings
Sacramento.
Advanced. Yeah, Kings advanced to play the Pelicans.
Yeah, Sacramento. Yeah, so they're playing Sacramento, which I don't see them beating that team. I honestly don't see. I don't see Zion Williamson less team. And hats off to Zion, man. He played in 70 games this year. 70 games.
That's pretty impressive.
70 games. He played well. He averaged over 20 points per game. He stayed healthy. He stayed on the court for the most part, which is all we can really ask for him. More than AD played anyway. Anyway,
I think AD played more than that.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think AD has only missed like 4 games this season, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like his highest play total in his whole career.
Wow.
Yeah, and he'll be hurt any game now. I mean,
any game now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just give it 30 seconds more, and he'll be hurt.
But yeah, hats off to Zion Williamson for putting up a solid effort in the loss there. Really balling out in a game where he needed to, and his team needed him. He put his team first. He put the team on his back. It just came a little bit short. Hopefully, you have a fast recovery, man, and don't push it, man. Don't rip that Achilles and then be out for a year and a half and just
it ain't worth it.
Yep. Don't be the next Boogie Cousins. It's just not worth it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the other side of the ball. That would be the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Question 1. Is this the last time we see Chris Paul play a game of basketball?
No. I don't think so. I think he did battle a lot of injuries and stuff this year, but I just don't see him giving up this easy. He still hasn't won a ring. I think he wants. I think that was the reason that he went to Golden State.
Yeah,
and I could see it being the reason that he stays at Golden State. I mean, he's been ring chasing for a few years now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to find a team. He leaves the Suns, and the Suns are contenders. He joined the Warriors a season too late.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got kind of all these things. I don't know if he's done until he gets a ring. I think he's probably got a couple more, especially now that he's in a role with Golden State where it shows that he's willing to come off the bench and play. I think he could probably play a few more seasons and in smaller roles than he's played in the past.
Kind of go the gosh, what's his name? Just said Vince Carter route.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's looking. I would be really sad to see CP3 retire without a ring.
I wouldn't. Don't really
know
that guy. D-Will for life, baby.
D-Will for life.
No, I think he's fine. No, I think it's fine. Like I could really care less if he wins a ring or not. I just think he's one of the biggest complainers in the NBA. It's just I just don't like the guy. Like I think personally he's probably a nice guy, but when it comes to the NBA, he whines, he complains. That's why the players picked him to be the representative, because the guy would just,
he whines and complains for everybody.
Exactly. So I don't know. CP3, I hope he gets I wouldn't say I hope he gets a ring. I just don't really care either way if he does or not. I say if he does, if the Warriors don't retool, the Warriors aren't retooling with him on the roster. I'm telling you that right now. If he's on the roster, then he'd have to take the vet minimum. They're kind of maxed out. Andrew Wiggins took an crazy contract and then just disappeared off the face of the earth. If anybody finds him, let him know that he needs to report back to the Golden State.
He's probably in Canada somewhere.
Probably. But anyway, so yeah, but on the side of that there, when it comes to Golden State there, what's your underlying reason for why they fell short this year?
They're just getting old. I mean, this team is on the tail end. They need that player. Honestly, they need a Grayson Allen. They need a player that can just still knock down threes, that can draw some gravity from that 3-point line. You know what I mean? Like, Steph's still amazing, but everyone knows Steph.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're still going to double team him. You're still going to, you know what I mean, predict pin downs. Like,
yeah,
you're still going to make sure that Steph doesn't get easy shots. And you can do that with 2 players on him, because who else are they going to throw it to?
Yeah.
Draymond Green, who shoots 34% from 3, Klay Thompson, who's maybe the streakiest shooter since Jordan Clarkson. Like,
yeah, that's what they did say. That the head coach for the Sacramento Kings did say, it's that Steph is not going to be the one that's going to beat us. It's going to have to be somebody else.
Yeah,
that was their scheme, and that's what happened. There's one person to blame for this, for the reason that they got this early of an exodus, and that's Draymond Green. With his stupid suspension and everything that happened, the team was, I believe, 11-14 without him on the court, and they played really, really well when he was on there. Even Klay Thompson had a little bit of resurgence towards the end of the year when he wasn't taking on so much of a defensive load with Draymond on the floor. Right, that floor general there, it's all on him, man. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, he's got people got their eyes on him. He's got a short leash." I'd say that's not true. I think the refs give him the benefit of the doubt, and he just keeps chirping, does not let it go, and he gets the technical and gets kicked out. The suspensions are stupid. This whole thing about whatever is going on with him, I think, is just the league trying to spin it so they can keep one of their stars in the league and not anybody else besides him. He would be gone by now. And the fact that he's still in this league, he still owed $74 million over the next 2 seasons, tells you how valuable he is to Golden State. And the fact that they got bounced so easy. If he didn't get suspended this year, this is a 3rd or 4th seed team. Yeah,
they shouldn't even have been in the play-in.
Yeah. So I think falls
Golden
on
State
him.
is that good. But honestly, Sacramento is that good too. Like, Sacramento had they got so many good players on that team. They deserve to beat them.
Future Jazzman Harrison Barnes on the team.
Jazzman Harrison, exactly.
Yeah.
It's my guy.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll definitely see what goes on there. But yeah, I don't know. Are you a big playing guy or no?
Do I like the tournament?
The play-in tournament before the postseason, or before it, or
yes? I
think they did hit it. I don't think it counts as
the
playoffs.
NBA did this right.
Yeah, they did it right. I don't think it counts as playoffs. It's kind of like the NCAA tournament, the playing games. I still don't count those ones.
Yep.
But I do think it puts a little extra emphasis on the postseason and drags out meaningful basketball. Because, like I said, the regular season we don't get to see those stars play, so there's not really that big a deal. It's now
the big thing is for all these 7, 8, 9, 10 games, right? 7th and 8th, 9th and 10th seeds. All of these, you're going to get every one of your stars back for these games.
Yeah,
because you don't got a shot without them. So, like you said, it's meaningful basketball. These guys are going to be out there.
They're trying on both sides.
They're trying on both sides of the floor. Every single minute counts. Absolutely. The NBA got it 100% right with the play-in tournament.
I agree. Stay tuned for our playoff predictions. We'll go ahead and cover that next week, but we got to move on. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's know in the comments down below what you guys think of the NBA play-in tournament so far. Do you like these games? Do you think it helps make it out? What do you think of LeBron's performance, as well as Zion's performance in that game? And I'm not one for moral victories, but that's about as close as you're going to get for,
absolutely.
For Zion there. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think. Once again, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. It really helps out the channel. Hit that notification bell. We are giving away the first $500 we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
And hit that like button for your boy, AJ.
That's right, dang it. That's right. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over to Major League Baseball. We're going to cover something real quick here, and then we're going to get on to some local news.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. So, all right, Tammy, this one's for you. So hopefully you're listening. Go ahead and drop into the live chat there and let us know what you let us know there if you're listening to this one, because this one's for you. This is going to be the only baseball talk we have about today, because we released the video last week about the whole, injury issue. By the way, did you get a chance to watch that video?
The injury video?
Yeah.
The elbow video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, what's your take on that? What did you think on that? What was the most? Do you think it was a combination? What do you think is the issue? Why pitchers are losing their arms?
I was watching the comments quite a bit, but I think some of the big. You're very welcome, Tammy.
There you are, Tammy. Awesome. We'll get to that right after the arm thing for sure. I promise. We forgot to showcase Vanessa Joe's letting us know that she's repping from Utah. Perfect. But yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah. So my thoughts is I think some of the comments kind of nailed this one, man, and they kind of align with my thoughts on this. I think your problem is you have so much social media influence watching these pitchers throw these curveballs that are breaking 18 to 24 inches. And you're like, how can I do that at 13? Because if I can do that at 13, someone's going to see me.
Mm-hmm.
They're just starting way earlier than they need to, man.
Oh yeah, it starts at Little League. The problem is it's not going to end there. We can't fix the problem in Little League. It has to be fixed from the top down. And
Yes.
one thing that didn't make the cut that I talked a little bit about that didn't make the cut on the video there was Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, where they were at the Mets. They were talking about it. And they were talking about how the fact that they're like the only two pitchers left in the world that go more than 5 innings. You know, because the key thing for me is max effort. Everybody's trying to do the whole max effort thing where they're going for it. They're trying to throw as much as they can, as hard as they can, as often as they can. And I think for that, we're running into the problem of these pitchers not being able to go longer. You know, can you throw 98? Sure, but keep it at 92 until you get to 85 pitches. And then your third time through the lineup, then start gassing. That's not going to get you the show. And then the teams, your agents, the front office, everybody's going to say, no, max velo as much as you can. So
there's a dog. He's angry. Very angry.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Unbelievable. You gotta love it.
Unbelievable.
You gotta love it, guys.
This dog.
Live show. A lot of people actually want Choco to be our mascot, by the way. I heard from 3 different subscribers that they want Choco on the show.
I think if you could just train him to sit, we could just put him right back there.
I mean, he can sit, but I just,
I know we need him to stay, though.
We need him to stay.
Yeah, we need Choco to just sit and stay.
I mean, he's a lab, and he doesn't like being cornered, so I doubt we're going to get that there. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and quickly hit the comment here that we got from Kinley Coulter there. And let's see here. Say, I love the play-in.
Makes all 82 matter. In the West this year, the last games of the year were so fun to watch.
Yeah, as long as you weren't a Jazz fan, they were a lot of fun to watch.
Correct.
I'm just kidding. The last 3 games were actually quite fun to watch, actually. So, yeah, 100% agree with you there, McKinley. Great comment there for sure.
Thanks for commenting, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. The play-in tournament's great. It really does help with the end of the season when everybody's usually resting people. There's some teams that actually care to make the play-in, so that's a very good point. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to Major League Baseball there. I just really think it's the max effort. I think it all kind of combines to that. You know, if the league implemented some kind of rule where the team this is their idea, Max and Justin, their idea was penalize a team that their starter doesn't go into the 5th inning. So that they lose their DH for the rest of the game if their starter doesn't go 5. That way.
Yeah, it incentivizes teams to have their starting pitcher throw at a more even pace for longer versus throw 105 for 2 innings and then bring in a reliever.
Yeah, so like if the Dodgers, for example, all of a sudden the pitch starter doesn't go 5 innings, you pull him in the 4th inning. Well, guess what? You lose Shohei Ohtani unless you put him in the field.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's, you know, you're going to want your pitchers to go 5 at that point, you know, when you're franchise players, you know, at risk of not being able to play. So I don't know. It's a good idea. We'll see about it. Well, let us know in the comments, guys, what you think about that.
Hey, the NBA's the MLB's making some changes, man.
Yeah, it seems to be happening quite a bit.
I mean, we've got the base changes, we got the pitch clock, like anything's possible in the MLB these days. Anything to get the game moving.
Oh yeah.
Make it a little bit more exciting for people to tune in. That's why we need a team here in Salt Lake City.
Do you hear about the challenge rule?
No.
It's in the AAA right now. We should go check out a Bees game and go check it out.
Yeah, let's do it.
But basically, it's not going to be the automatic ball and strike calling that they have, but the challenge rule is going to be there. So basically, if you're at bat, and the pitch comes in, and the ump calls it a strike, it was clearly a ball. All you have to do is tap on your head, on your helmet, and then it will automatically go to the big jumbotron, and they'll recreate the pitch with the K zone on there, and overturn it right there. It takes 5 to 10 seconds to challenge a call. Everybody sees it. It engages the crowd. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. So that's probably going to come to Major League
What we need to
soon.
do a video on is how long until automated ball and strike something the MLB.
I don't think that's coming anytime soon because it was tried out in minor leagues and it hasn't been great so far. It's getting better,
Right.
But I mean, with Angel Hernandez calling 3 balls that were strikes in a row,
all of them were terrible.
Then we're like in the left-hand batter's box. I think here's my theory.
They got progressively worse was the best part.
They
dude.
did. And the pitcher was doing it on purpose. Like, I'm just going to go a little bit further out.
Yeah, and he's still calling
it. They're going to go a little further. Wow, I still got that one.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Strike 3.
Here's my theory. I think the umpires have ownership stake in the ball tracking zone. If they do bad enough.
Oh, you know it.
Anyway, so all right, sorry, Tammy. We'll go ahead and get back to the Shohei Ohtani thing because that was requested from her. So we'll definitely get into that. So, okay, so just to wrap it up, in case you've been living on a rock or you don't care at all about baseball, it was Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, that was busted for gambling with an illegal bookie in Southern California. The illegal bookie was in Southern California. He got under investigation, and ESPN found out that there was a lot of payments going to this guy under the name Shohei Ohtani. And so when this came to the ESPN, ESPN interviewed Mitsuhara, and Ippei said, oh, yeah, it's my gambling debt. He's just being a good friend and paying my debts for me. I'm terrible at gambling, so he's just paying for bets for me. They then rolled that back the next day, where Shohei Ohtani, and they rolled that back and said they made an official announcement, Shohei Ohtani's camp did, that he had no idea about any of this illegal gambling. He had no clue what Ippei was doing, and this is theft. They're going to be correct. They're going to be cooperating with authorities as such. Shohei Ohtani did make a press conference where he said, "I've never gambled on sports. I had no idea about these transactions where he's pulling money out of my accounts. I knew absolutely nothing about it." And that was kind of the story so far at this point. There's a lot of speculation. Even our previous video where we talked about this, I said I want to believe Shohei Ohtani because I want to believe him, man. But if he drew this line in the sand, and if it is not the 100% truth, he is gonna get hit hard in this one. So
let's just keep in mind this was Mizuhara stole money to the tune of $16 million, dude.
Update from the last video, which was only 4.6 million.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking big time money. Did you see the comments from Tyler Glass now saying that it was obvious by Shohei's demeanor that he was innocent in this whole scandal?
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Like, just if you can tell by looking at somebody, like, yeah, no, he had no idea about this.
Yeah, when Mitsuhara addressed the team, letting him know about there's gambling, Shohei Ohtani's just sitting there nodding, not realizing what's going on. Why the interpreter's only speaking English to the rest of the team and not telling him anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, the documents have come out. The testimony has come out. It's like a 31-page dossier of basically the breaking down everything that happened. And apparently there are 16 like I said, $16 million he stole from Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
In our previous video, we said, how did he get away with this? How did Shohei not know about it? How did this all break down? Well, all that came out. Now there's a total, he lost a total of $180 million Ippei did over the course of 3 years. So that, and he also won $140 million. So that's a net loss of about $40 million. 16 million of it he stole. The bookie had no idea he was stealing the money from Shohei because it said on the text messages. Ippei texted the bookie, said, "Hey, have you seen the press?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I've seen it, but don't worry, that won't hold up. I know you weren't taking money from Ohtani." And he's like, "Actually, technically, I did." Is what Ippei did. So Ippei confessed in a text message to the illegal bookie that he was stealing Ohtani's money. So there's that. So that probably helps.
And now you're going to jail.
Yeah. And then on top of that, here's a crazy thing: it started in like 2019, and then to now 2024. And the amount, there was over 19,000 bets placed. That's on average 26 bets per day that he was making.
Dude, that's insane. Like, who's got that kind of time?
Yeah. It's going to be, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Let's see here. Can you read this a little bit further?
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens with Ohtani, considering he has the biggest name in MLB. The NBA got off easy where they were able to make an example out of Porter. I don't think the MLB can do the same.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Well, there's a difference between Ohtani and Porter there, which, by the way, forgot to cover Porter in the video, the NBA video, which we'll basically just kind of quickly cover. We called it in our last video. He got Pete Roast.
Yeah.
Lifetime ban.
Which,
for like what, $18,000, I think is what he was getting in those. But basically he just kept himself from ever getting an NBA contract. So way to go. Nice job. I mean,
we like to call that dipshit.
Yeah, that's a dumb move, man. That's a dumb move.
Your brother's Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about that. Like, I love thank you for the comparison there, McKinley. But the two are kind of when it comes to the comparison there. One, obviously, Shohei didn't do anything. He didn't gamble, especially with all this dossier, the confession from Ippei Matsuhara on the text messages, and also how he broke down in his interview how he got away with it. He was impersonating Shohei Ohtani on the phone with the banks and opening false accounts underneath Ohtani's name, and even when their banks in Japan would flag it and would not do a wire transfer, he just opened another account and wired the money that way and was stealing it that way. So it got really, really deep. But I really like that the federal investigation said that Shohei Ohtani is a victim in all this. There's no evidence over, like they said, 100,000 text messages between the two over 3 years. All the evidence was pointing that there was no communication, and Shohei Ohtani had absolutely no idea about any of this. So
I want to know who had to go through 100,000 text messages over 3 years.
That's
what a horrible job.
That is a horrible job. Speaking about being a complete piece of shit, Ippei Mitsuhara, dude, you scammed one of the nicest people in the world out of $16 million. That was your best friend, dude. Not just only your interpreter, not just your boss, but that guy relied on you for everything. He considered you a friend, and you stole $16 million from him.
He did go on to say, I did not bet on baseball. That's 100%. I knew the rule. We have a meeting about that in spring training.
Yeah, by the way, okay, so
it doesn't matter. You still stole $16 million from your friend.
For that, though, think about it. If he did bet on a baseball game, and the investigators, everybody's fully, working with the investigators fully, what's the word? Complying with investigation. If they found that he betted on baseball at all, that's a whole nother can of worms, because then he's using his inside info inside the dugout. Doesn't matter if Ohtani knew about it at all. That still would affect Ohtani, because he's the one who gave him, and the Angels, that would give him that license, and the Dodgers. They gave him that access. So if he bet on baseball, that would be a whole nother
bad deal then.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't do that, at least he didn't screw over his friend's career. So, I don't know. I hope. I mean, he's
still going to jail.
He's going to jail.
Yeah.
And well deserved. You don't steal that kind of money from that kind of nice of a guy and then, walk away from it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the take on there. Shohei Ohtani has been cleared of any wrongdoings by the federal government. And I believe baseball is yet to release a statement on their side of things, but I don't think that they're going to comment anything different. I would like to say this hasn't affected Shohei Ohtani at all. But man, he is 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position right now. He is not playing well over the last.
That is not great at all.
No, I mean, he is leading the league in extra base hits right now, but other than that, he is not playing well. So I'd hate to say that this hasn't affected him, but it totally has. So hopefully Shohei Ohtani, with this news and all that happening last week, this will turn that around, and we can start seeing Shohei be Shohei again for sure.
That's what he needs.
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think in regards to the Shohei Ohtani betting scandal. Is there anything else that we left out? Is there, are you still thinking that he had something to do with it? Do you think the FBI is conspiring to help Major League Baseball and keep their golden goose in the league? I mean, I don't see how that would be a possibility.
It's weird. I'm just saying, it's weird.
It would be a nice purse for them to get, to be able to say, hey, look what we busted it. That's not something they're going to walk away from if they have a chance to do that. So yeah, we'd love to see, I'd love to hear about that, to see if that's anybody who thinks that that's still the case. Let us know in the comments down below. Yeah. And again, folks, we're on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel so we can enter you in that giveaway where we're giving away the first $500 we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. All you have to do is be subscribed, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and smash that like button for your boy AJ over there so we can get you squared away there. We have another comment. I believe this one's from McKinley as well. Let's see here.
Yeah, it says, it tends to get messy when you hire work with family and friends, and it hurts exponentially with more when they screw you.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah, that's, and again, this is not a pick from the Dodgers or the Angels. This is a interpreter he met in Japan and brought over.
Right. Just his friend.
Honestly, guys, just do a little bit of background check. You're paying a guy $700 million. Check out his interpreter to make sure he's not, in league with an illegal bookie in California.
Just a thought.
I mean, gambling's
It's
legal.
just a thought.
Gambling's legal in a lot of states. You know, why'd you have to go with an illegal bookie?
Yeah, not difficult.
It's not hard. It's not hard. All right. So again, let us know in the comments down below, folks. We'd love to hear from you on that one. Be sure to tune into our live stream. We do this every week at 7:30 Mountain Time on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on which day is available.
Just depending on the day.
Just depending on the day, guys. We'll work it out. We're getting used to this. We'll get there. I promise. But yeah, so go ahead and let us know in the comments down below. What you think of all this, and I believe I already said that. So let's go ahead and move on to the last subject, which is going to be local sports.
Excellent.
So I don't know how much you've heard about this, but man, it's a good thing we didn't actually have a show last week, because holy cow, have things changed over the last 2 weeks when it comes to the last time we talked. And I'm actually going to see if we can cut it in the video here and show where we talked about when the state of Utah approved $900 million for an NHL stadium for a hockey team to come here. And we both mentioned, actually you mentioned first, but I had it in my notes too, but it was you who mentioned, well, why don't they just bring Arizona up here? And sure enough, here it is, a month, not even 2 months later, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Ba-bam.
Yeah. First of all, by the way, so Millers, what are we doing? Big League Utah, what are we doing? Okay. Ryan Smith gets involved. He puts it out in January that he wants to bring an NHL here. And then 3 months later,
taken care of.
We have a team coming next year.
Yeah.
What is taking so long? There are just as many bad baseball franchises that need to be moved. Come on, Millers. Let's get to it.
Don't make Ryan Smith get involved in this.
Don't
do it.
Speaking of which, Ryan Smith did throw his money around a little bit earlier today. I don't know if you heard about this earlier this week.
Huh.
He threw some money around. The BYU Cougars signed Eric Young to be their head coach. He had 8 interviews for NBA head coaches positions. This guy is literally one step away from being an NBA head coach, and he signs to be the head coach for BYU. And Ryan Smith ponied up some money for that, and Danny Ainge made an endorsement for it, throwing his weight around.
Really?
Yeah, lots of local stuff going in on that to make that the case. So
that's kind of crazy. I did not see that.
Yeah, so he is officially the 8th highest paid coach in college basketball.
BYU is going all in.
Yeah, I doubt that that's something that they're offering to their football head coach. He's making.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So congratulations, Eric Young, on that one. But anyway, so back to this Arizona Coyotes. So now it was late in. Well, let's first of all talk about their issue there. So let's kind of recap the scenario. Do you want me to recap, or do you got this?
Yeah, you can recap it.
Okay. So before we broke the video, there was talk about that the Arizona Coyotes were looking to relocate. Now they were going to relocate to Tempe. That fell through. And for the last couple of seasons, they've been playing in Mullet Arena, which is on the Arizona college campus, right? Playing in Mullet Arena. So there's only about 4,600 seats there that they have for that arena for their playing. And then the plan was for them to move to, once the Tempe thing fell through, they were going to purchase some land outside of Scottsdale, right? Just on the other side of the road. And they were going to bid on a land there. So they were going to be playing in the Mullet Arena for a couple more games, for a couple more seasons, while they build that arena out. Well, the mayor was not on board with that. He made some comments about it, saying, you're going to do it without our help. And that ended up being something about the fact that he didn't want the enter and exit to this facility being
right
into his county, causing traffic. So he backtracked that a little bit and had them redo the rendering, and then he was in full support of it. Meanwhile, the NHL is saying, okay, we're had enough of this. This is one of our franchises that has been there since '96. We need to take care of this. So
we've done what we can do.
We've
given you plenty of chances to pull this thing out of the ground, to find you a stadium.
Yes. And since then, in January, it has been that Ryan Smith has put his flag in the ground saying, I want to bring an NHL team here. We're investing X amount of money here. We have the state is offering $900 million to build an arena downtown, whether it be renovating Delta Center or building a new arena. I don't think we have any new news on that at all. That's still the same, right? We don't know.
Yeah, they haven't really updated it. He just pushed it through into the next step to say
one arena, man. I think they're just going to remake one arena and have them both there, which I don't agree with.
I think you have to redo that whole district though, because the problem around where the Delta Center is is it's just a bunch of random buildings next to each other. It's not like you've been to other major cities. Like
Yeah, it's like
it's
hub.
it's a district, right? Like you
Yeah.
can walk up to the arena. You
like
can
the
go
Battery
grab food.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, you can go get food and then walk up a main walkway into. I mean, it's almost like the Gateway Mall downtown leading up to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like the Gateway and then the arena, and you got to cross the street. But like it should all be one area.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't need to be. I don't know. I still say they need 2 arenas because it'll help with the Olympics in 2034.
It absolutely will.
So I think it would be 2 arenas.
I just don't know where they would put it because they want to keep it downtown.
There's plenty of land out there.
Yeah, not if you're going to keep it downtown though.
What's going on with the Salt Palace? Are we still doing something with that? Like, is that really a thing? Is that just a giant convention center people are using?
The All-Star game was there.
Well, yeah, part of the All-Star.
The All-Star game, like festivities were there.
Yeah,
this is huge. By the way,
wouldn't that just be easier to put that in, and make that
tear it down,
make an arena there, and still have
game over?
You know, I'm just saying. Anyway, so that basically, so now we have an ownership group. We have a state money in place. We have an ownership group that wants an NHL team.
We have a program. The
NHL then says, okay, we're done with this scenario in Arizona. We're not going to hang our hopes on a land grab that you could potentially bid for and have to wait more time for this. What we're going to do is we're going to buy the team back from the owners of the Coyotes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and sell it to Ryan Smith. Now, I believe they're buying it for $1 billion and they're going to sell it to the Smiths, to the SCG, or to Ryan Smith for 1.3 billion, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's going to be a little bit of profit in there, which is, I think that's called money laundering, if you ask me. But anyway,
well, they split that. So they take that profit that comes back and they split it up between all the owners. So all the owners get like
there's a franchise fee of that already.
Yeah.
So so the profit of that goes into them too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and anyway, it's between that whole scenario, there was 2 schedules released where they released a schedule for the Coyotes playing in Arizona and the Coyotes playing in Salt Lake City. That got leaked to the press, and then less than a couple days later, they fast-tracked that to basically saying, okay, this is going to happen. It's not official. We're going to tell the players. And then the night before, after one of their second to last games, they did tell the team that we plan on relocating to Salt Lake, and they're all going to come down here sometime this week to check it out and see what that is. And then, so basically the Coyotes are going to be here as early as next year playing in the Delta Center. We have NHL teams. We have an NHL team here in Salt Lake City as of next year. Crazy.
Yep. And the NHL's Board of Governors is expected to vote on that, vote to approve the relocation as soon as April 18th.
Okay. So yeah, that's the final thing. Kind of like when the A's were moving to Vegas, you had to wait for the teams to vote on it and approve it.
Yep.
Similar thing here. Honestly, dude, I'm in love with this idea, dude. I absolutely love this. I didn't want to cover hockey. I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
I will absolutely cover hockey if we got a team here.
Like I said, I just didn't want to do it. I thought it would be lame. And ever since this whole thing started ramping, I'm like, oh, dude, we're gonna have hockey here. We're gonna start covering some games. I'm actually quite excited. I think this is gonna be an awesome thing to have an NHL hockey team here in Utah.
I'm excited, dude.
I am so excited.
I really want an MLB team though.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be a longer play, which unfortunately, if this NHL thing doesn't go well, it may not perform well. Because if you look at the 2 things there, we have one thing that's kind of a negative on that is that Phoenix and the state of Arizona had all major professional sports there. They had a baseball team, they have a basketball team, they had a football team, and they had a hockey team. Well, they've lost the hockey team. There's also
their football team sucks.
There's a chance that they could lose the Phoenix Suns.
How?
They're disputing the talking stick arena or something like that. I read something about it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But also the Arizona Diamondbacks. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They're possibly considering relocating that team if the city doesn't pony up the money to renovate the arena.
I think the good news for us though is we've got multiple billionaires ready to pony up the money for the arena.
Yeah, and what I really love about that, we've already got the Coyotes. Bring the Diamondbacks here.
Yeah.
There's snakes up here. We can call them the Salt Lake Diamondbacks. Probably.
They won't be the Coyotes.
They won't be the Coyotes because we'll cover that in a minute there. Let's go ahead and hit this comment real quick. What's your vote on the NHL name? Mine is the Black Diamonds or Stonecutters. One of the funnier suggestions I saw were the polygamists. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. I saw some renderings on KSL for this. Thank you again, McKinley Coulter, on this one. I really like the stonecutter thing. I think that's pretty choice. So I don't know if you know the why they want to call them stonecutter. Do you know that?
I don't.
Okay, so it's basically paying homage to the builders of the Salt Lake Temple. Basically, the people who built the Salt Lake Temple. That's like the center of the state. You know, all of our roads come from there. And it's not necessarily specifically for the church. It's more about the laborers that built that cut the stones, that quarried all the stuff to bring it here. It's kind of paying homage to those builders who built that back in, 1890 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, so I think that one's kind of cool. I have to say, what's your take on a name? If you were to pick a name right now, what would you say it would be?
I have not thought about that.
Okay, I'll tell you what mine is. I got a good one.
Huh.
Utah Raptors.
I have heard that one, and I do like the Raptors.
The Ogden Raptors were a baseball team, a
Yeah.
minor league baseball team. There literally is a raptor called the Utah Raptor, which is actually the size of all the raptors that are in Jurassic Park, by the way. That's a free gift to you guys.
Boom,
there,
you're welcome.
knowledge. Most raptors are actually the size of size of medium-sized dogs, but
we know because we have them running around Utah.
Yeah, they're still here. Yeah, got them chained up in the backyard. They keep the cats away.
You're welcome.
But anyway, so I think Utah Raptors, I think, would be a perfect name for it.
I like that.
I like stonecutters. I do like the polygamists. That'd be pretty funny. But I think there would be a copyright line with polygamy porter on that one. I'm not so sure. We'll have to see on that one. Black diamonds are cooler. I like that idea because, again, the skiing and everything, you have black diamonds. You could play with a little bit with that. I think that's good.
I think the uniforms would be awesome on black diamonds.
That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is the team name not coming with us?
The team name is not coming with because they agreed to allow the Arizona owner to continue. He's got 3 years to
5 years.
5 years to renew he retains all of the naming rights, all of the logos. And then he's got 5 years to pretty much get the team back off the ground. And he's the first option for expansion.
Yes. Now it's not a sign sale. He gets first bid for an expansion team.
Correct.
If he is able to purchase the land and build the facility, he's got 5 years to get that done and basically say, yes, I'm ready to go.
And that was the only that's the only reason he would agree to sell the team back to the NHL.
Is if he got to keep the name and build the rights. Right. Which is
also the first right to a refusal on the next expansion team.
Yeah. Which we talked about this before. And this is another reason why I'm in love with the idea. We're not getting an expansion team, man. We're getting an actual full-fledged team.
Absolutely.
I looked at the roster a little bit. We actually have some good talent there. We have a decent picks coming up over the next couple of years. There is a good chance that this is not going to be like the perennial Colorado Rockies. We're not getting the Oakland A's. We're getting the bottom feeder team that no one wants. I think a big problem with this team has been the ownership. The ownership just did not want to invest in this team. I could see, they've let 3 or 4. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong on this one. But goalies go because they didn't want to pay him the $4 million. They want to keep him around $400,000.
Yeah,
they want to keep him. So I think just the right ownership, is basically what all this team needs. So anyway, Arizona Coyote fans or Yote fans out there, I think it's called the Yotes. I think people's what they call the hashtag Yotes.
Yeah.
Are you still going to fans out there? Let us know what you think. Let us know if you are still going to follow this team. If they relocate to Salt Lake City, or are you just going to hold out until you guys get an expansion team down there? I do want to let you know they're in good hands here in Salt Lake City. You will know that we take on professional teams very passionately.
Open arms, absolutely.
Open arms, ready to go. Look at the Real Salt Lake here. They haven't done anything in a decade. And yet they still pack the south end of the valley like crazy. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the Royals are playing pretty well.
Oh, the female soccer team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're playing pretty well this year so far.
That'd be a fun one to go check out. Those tickets are actually pretty affordable too.
Yeah, I've heard good things, so we'll definitely go check it out.
Yeah, we should.
Anyway, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your take is on this whole thing. This moved very quickly. Insert Anchorman meme. It's like, wow, this escalated quickly.
Yes,
because it did. It literally happened in 2 weeks from the last time we talked to now. This all happened.
It was like there was a new headline on it every single day.
It was nuts.
Yeah,
it was nuts. I believe we got a comment down there, but let's go ahead and check this out here. This one's also from McKinley. Let's see what this one says here. I also thought the Raptors would be a cool name, but I didn't know if it would be a problem with the other sports franchise with that name or mascot. Is there a hockey team with Raptors in the name?
I don't believe so, but I think he's saying like the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, the Toronto Raptors. Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a Grizzlies team in basketball. No, they changed to the Pelicans.
No, there's still the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, sorry, the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, sorry. The Memphis Grizzlies went to. It was the Grizzlies played somewhere else for a while, or was it the Hornets?
The Hornets.
Yeah, someone played somewhere around, but they have the Grizzlies, and they also have. Well, yeah, that's a minor league team in hockey that the Utah has. Is the Utah?
Yeah,
Grizzlies.
the Utah Grizzlies.
I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, that's a good point there. I mean, it's not going to be a problem internally because the Ogden Raptors aren't here anymore. That team's no longer affiliated with professional sports. So,
and it will be the Utah whatever team comes up with, right? It's not going to be Salt Lake. Because I think that was part of the legislation in all of that was that the team had to be represented by the state and not the city.
I think that was a baseball team.
Oh, was it just the baseball team?
I think that was a baseball team. I could be wrong.
Hey, leave us a comment down below if you know.
Yeah, let's know. I really like that idea, though. That's a good point that the Raptor thing might be an issue. But I heard the Yeti. I think that was the one floating around a lot.
The Yetis.
I mean, some of the hockey ones are kind of out there and kind of really kind of crazy. So I'm not opposed to something being a little crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still like Raptors, man. I think that's a good one. Or you can go with the Eagles. My dad's Philadelphia. They have the Eagles, don't they?
I just don't like the name Eagles.
Did we have a team? We had a hockey team called like the Seagulls or the Eagles or something like that.
Horrible.
A minor league team. Anyway, the Gulls. I think it was called the Gulls. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think as far as the team name. You're just loving it over there. Huh?
I am.
Let us know in the comments down below, folks, what you would be your choice for the name for the new Salt Lake City / Utah NHL professional hockey team coming next year to the state. We want to hear it from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what your pick is when it comes to that. Also, keep in mind, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are about 200 short. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have not yet, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the giveaway that we're giving. We're doing $500 giveaways. We're giving away the first $500 we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you smash that like button. We really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel.
Absolutely. And if you guys are watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, this is available as a podcast, wherever you get your audio, and there should be a link to this playlist right here.
With all that said, folks, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
All right, we also have Tammy here. We might have to re-record that outro. Salt Lake Gulls. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
That's what the name of the team was.
That's why you're our hero, Tammy.
That's right. Appreciate it. But yeah, so once again, folks, listen on the live stream. Appreciate it. Glad you guys could make it again. And yeah, we look forward to speaking to you next time.
Boom.